Here's a story for you guys. My 5-year-old adventure by Larry, Grandpa Larry. I was just 5 years old the first time I ran away from home. Well, it wasn't really a running away. It's just that I was intent on following my sister's trip to McCarran's Lake to go swimming. They had bounded out of the house, Mary Lou, Janet, and Dorothy, one hot summer day as I was riding my tricycle on the front sidewalk. Well, when I asked them where they were going, seeing towels rolled up and under their arms, they said, "We're going swimming, Larry." I really wanted to go with them. The thing is, I absolutely loved my sisters. They were fun. They bought me lots of things like a Captain Video helmet, lots of toys and cap guns, a Hopalong Cassidy outfit with cowboy hat, pants, a gun holster with two plastic guns. They were funny and they were good to me. Well, the girls just said I was too little and they wanted to go by themselves. So they started walking down the block past Sullivan's house and Mrs. Erkey's, crossed Elfelt Street, bubbly and chattering away, excited to be catching the streetcar up at Rice Street that would take them the 3 miles to the lake. They never looked back, so they never saw little Larry pedaling as fast as he could to keep them in sight. Nope. Now I was determined to follow them all the way to McCarran's, where I'd been many a time, but had no real idea how far it was. I got a block up to McCarran's store and looked ahead, and they had disappeared. Well, I figured they must have just turned the corner ahead, so I hightailed it another block as fast as my little legs could whir. Nope, they were gone. I didn't know if they crossed busy Thomas Avenue or turned a corner on my block. Not wanting to take a chance on the busy street, I took the turn on my block and kept pedaling, looking this way and that, trying to see them, and getting scared now that I was going to be lost. Then I stopped. I was lost. I had no idea where I was. No sisters, no familiar houses, nobody around. Scared now. I cried and cried. And then a blessing. A woman appeared at the door of the house I stopped at. She came down the steps, speaking kindly and gently to me and comforting me and asking, "Are you lost? Don't worry. I'll help you find your mom, your home. Come on into my house and sit down. We'll take care of this and you'll be home lickety split." She put my trike at the side of the house, took my hand, and led me inside and into the kitchen where I sat down at the table. Asking me my name and settling down a plate with 2 cookies and a glass of milk, she said, "There, there. Now have some good cookies and milk and settle down. You're going to be just fine. What's your name?" Well, I said my name was Larry. And she said, "And what is your last name? Your family name." Well, now I knew that. I was proud that I knew my last name, and I could tell her, so she repeated it. "Dickburner. Is that right? Dickburner?" "Yeah," I said. Then she got out her phone book and looked for that name. I guess there weren't many names like that, no matter how you spelled it, because she only called 2 phone numbers before she found mine, and my mom answered. I was so happy. And she talked to my mom, got the address, and said she'd call the police to bring me home. Then she let me say hello to my mom, and I was so glad I started crying again just to hear my mom's voice. Getting off the phone, I wiped my eyes and my runny nose on my shirt and smiled, sat down again while the cookie woman called the police to pick me up. Just 5 minutes later, a police car pulled up to the house. A cop knocked at the door and asked me if I was ready to ride in the police car home. Well, I thanked the woman for everything, and she gave me a big hug and said, "What a brave boy you were, and what an appetite for cookies." We all three laughed at that. The policeman led me out to his car, opened the front passenger door, let me climb in, and as I pulled the heavy door closed, he grabbed my trike and put it in the trunk. Wow, was this ever fantastic! Riding in the front seat, no seat belts in 1950, where I could look out the windshield and see all the gizmos and dials, the siren and the lights buttons. I mean, a short 5 minutes later, we pulled up to my house, no more than a half a mile from where I landed. I got out and ran up to the door as my mom opened it. I hugged her, and with my face in her apron and her hands on my head comforting me, she thanked the policeman, and we walked into the front room where she sat down in the rocker and pulled me up on her lap, both of us crying. I said, "I'm sorry, Mom. I wanted to go swimming, and I just got lost." She said how scared she was that I was lost or maybe hurt and had called the police. I never did. I never did that again. Nope, nope. Thus ended my 5-year-old adventure, the first of many I would experience in my life of daring and not thinking through the possible consequences. That's the end of my 5-year-old adventure, getting lost.